What's good, guys? It's CSG, and today we're going to talk about how much it might cost to play Illuvium. This video was inspired by a discussion that we were having in the Discord today with a couple of the people regarding costs and what we think about the costs and just some new information that we got from the previous interview with Vulcan and Kieran, and just dissecting that and what we thought about it and what it could mean for us as players. To start this off and to make this clear, for anyone new to the whole Illuvium ecosystem, it is a free-to-play game. The first thing to know is there is no whitelist, there is no minting of playable NFTs before the game launches. Everyone is going to be starting equal. There's no advantages or disadvantages. So don't worry about a whitelist or trying to mint or anything like that. All of the NFTs that are currently out on OpenSea are only cosmetics. Cosmetics, emotes, things like that. There is nothing actually playable. It is a free-to-play game to enter the ecosystem. So as I mentioned, with the free-to-play, we're all going to have access to certain areas in each region, which are tier 0 regions. Tier 0 is the free-to-play aspect for all Illuvium. So we're going to have access to tier 0 areas in regions, tier 0 shards, and tier 0 alluvials. So with the tier 0 areas for the regions, we will have access to each biome just with that free-to-play area, that free-to-play space. As for the tier 0 shards, because they are free, what I believe is going to happen is just you're going to have to trade your time collecting resources, and you will be able to combine them or do what it is that you need to do to create that tier 0 shard for free. So again, so far we've got tier 0 areas, which is free to access, tier 0 shards, which are free to create, and the last thing is the tier 0 alluvials, which once you do 1 and 2, you are now able to capture that tier 0 alluvial for free. So you are able to experience an entire loop of what an Illuvium experience is in this free-to-play area. As for the tier 0 alluvials, we do know that there are 5 tier 0 alluvials, one for each class. And in each of those classes, they have 5 different affinities for each class. So if that's a little bit confusing, you have 5 alluvials with 5 affinities each, which means that you have a total of 25 free alluvials that you have access to. So it's not just a quick demo, it is a pretty in-depth experience that you will have access to as a free-to-play player. So the reason that you're watching this video is probably because you want to be a paying player in this ecosystem, and you want to find out how much that is going to cost. Just taking a quick break, I want to remind everyone very quickly, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I can see that only 10% of you guys watching are subscribed. If you are enjoying this content and you want to see more, please subscribe. It's completely free and it helps out the channel so much. Let's keep going. So now we're going to go into the pay to play section of the game. So tier 0 is free to play, and now you have tier 1 to tier 5. That's going to be the pay to play experience. In the pay to play experience, you've got 2 main expenses. You've got your travel fee and your curing of shards. There are other fees, such as reviving your alluvials if they faint. I'm not going to talk about that because we haven't got much information regarding prices with that. So I'm going to stick with the 2 that we have got some information on, which is the travel fee and the curing of shards. One thing that I do need to mention regarding the shards, it's been I'm going to say somewhat confirmed by Aaron, Kieran in AMAs before, that shards can't be wasted. So unlike Pokeballs and Pokemon, if you throw it and you don't capture the Pokemon, you lose that Pokeball. In Illuvium, if you try and capture an alluvial with a shard and you are unsuccessful, you don't lose that. So you don't need to worry about throwing money away essentially. Once you have that shard, you're going to have that until you successfully capture an alluvial. As for the prices for these travel fees and for these shards, we have originally heard from Kieran that they're aiming for about $10 for the travel fee, $10 for the shard for your basic tier 1. And this was originally what they discussed. We're going to watch a video now from the interview that Vulcan just did with Kieran, where they dive in a little bit deeper regarding some changes that they're looking at and discussing. And then I'm just going to give my opinion and what I think and just share my thoughts with you guys. So let's have a look.
I'm not too. I know a lot of people are fussed about rev dis and all that. I'm just curious on a player coming in say they want to just pay for a travel, queue a couple shards, and go catch some alluvials, what will that cost them? Like, what's a travel?
Yeah, so, well, I've always been saying, and I think I've even said it to you before, I've always been saying, just as a general rule, $10, right? $10 for your basic region, and then $10 for your basic shard, as in a tier 1 shard, and just been working off that logic. The Economist, however, is way more, thinks that we need to go down a route of more micro transactions rather than, like, I'm talking like $2, $3 to travel, and
then more expensive on the shards.
No, same. Cheaper. Like just reducing how much we charge for each thing, right? Just making it a lot cheaper to get around, to capture, whatever.
If any of you guys want to watch the entire interview, I'm going to put the link down below. As you can hear, Kieran mentioned that the team and the Economist have been discussing from possibly lowering prices from about $20 to possibly $4 to $8 and going more microtransaction-y. Alright, so yeah, I'm definitely not an economist, and these are just my thoughts and some thoughts that we had from that discussion on Discord today. And I just wanted to share that with you and see what you guys think, because I do think that community input is valuable. And I'm curious to see what everyone is thinking, where everyone's mind's at, where they're kind of leaning with prices, just so I can get a better gauge on what's going on with you guys as well. Like I mentioned, I'm not an economist, so these are just my opinions. I'm going to go into this with the whole analogy that they've given us about opening a pack of cards. So with saying that, let's have a look at some retail prices for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. As you can see on the screen, the average price for a Yu-Gi-Oh booster pack is roughly about $3.99. Now if we have a look at the Pokemon pack, you're looking at about $3.99. Keeping that in mind that both Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon are both retailing their booster packs for $3.99. What I think about that is that there is obviously a very solidified market for trading card games. And if these are the prices that they're going at, if we can kind of match them or play around those numbers, it would mean that consumers are going to be happy to participate in that economy. If we go too high, it might feel like price gouging and people might be unwilling to participate in that ecosystem. Whereas if we kind of play along with what is already established and is obviously very successful for those genres, it might work in our favor. As for how do we reach these prices and what's the breakdown, considering that a booster pack is just a booster pack, and for Illuvium we need to consider both travel fees and curing of shards. This is just what I'm hoping to see. It's not being confirmed. It's somewhat in line with what Kieran had mentioned in that interview, but take this all with a grain of salt. It's not confirmed. I'm just sharing my views and my ideas, and I will give reasons to back it up as well. And I really want to know what you guys think, because like I said, I do want to gauge where you guys are at with pricing and see where we are as a whole community. So my idea is that we start with a flat rate for travel fees at $5. So tier 1, $5. And for every tier after that, we go up by 5. So tier 1, $5. Tier 2, $10. Tier 3, $15. Tier 4, $20. And tier 5, $25. So that is what I think would be fair for the travel fee. It goes up $5 every time. And starting off at that $5 range, that puts us right in line with that booster pack prices. And as it goes up, as we get higher in tiers, getting more valuable alluvials, that also matches somewhat close from the evolution of a booster pack to booster sets to box sets, where you can get a box of cards for retailing about $30. So in regards to those prices, that kind of all plays with what's already established in the trading card game genre. So what I'm thinking with the price of shards is that we start with tier 1 at $4, which matches pretty much almost exactly to the retail price of a booster pack. From that $4, what I think, instead of going up incrementally with a set amount, what I think is that we can approach this in a percentage basis. So I think with the travel fees, we can go up a flat fee of $5 every single tier. And regarding the shards, we can go up a 50% increment based on the price, the current price of shards. So for example, if we start with 4, 50% of 4 is 2, which would mean that the tier 2 shard is $6. The next one, half of 6 is 3, 3 plus 6 is 9. Tier 3 would be $9. So if we follow this, what we get is tier 1 at $4, tier 2 at $6, tier 3 at $9, tier 4 roughly $13, and tier 5 at about $19 to $20. Again, these are going up relatively similar to booster packs, booster sets, and again those box sets. And if we do take this approach, the total cost for a one travel fee plus one shard for each tier is going to be tier 1 $9, tier 2 $16, tier 3 $24, tier 4 $33, and tier 5 at $45. Even at that price of $45, that's still very, very close to a box set for trading card games. So I think that is going to be a reasonable price. I believe Aaron has said that he's not looking to push a tier 5 trip past that $50 mark. So it's just under. So it could be in that price range. Again, none of this is confirmed, and these prices are me speculating on some of the information that we do have and me kind of just using my mind and trying to work it out. I think these are good prices because we also need to consider that if the price is much lower or too low, it's going to be very vulnerable to bots, which we definitely are trying to avoid when it comes to an actual financial ecosystem. We don't want it taken over by bots because that could be the end of the ecosystem. So we do need to consider and find that balance of what are us as players and consumers willing to put into the game and play and pay. We need to put a high enough standard that it deters the bots. And number two, this is my other thought process. If the prices for entering the game are too low, it decreases the inherent value of each alluvial. Whereas if we know that we pay a little bit more to get into the game, when we sell those alluvials on the marketplace, they will inherently have a slightly higher value. So it is not going to make a huge difference, obviously, but I think that is something that we do need to consider and not be greedy in that sense of, I just want it cheaper. We need to understand what is the best for the ecosystem, what is best for the company, and also what is best for us. Because if we are capturing alluvials at a slightly higher price and they are selling for a higher price, that is beneficial to us also. Alright guys, so I'm going to end the video. Like I said, this was kind of just an impromptu video based on the inspiration from today's discussion. Let me know what you think about those prices. Are you okay with that? Is that too high? Do you think it should be much lower? Do you want it to be higher? Let me know what you think and give me your reasons, because I really want to understand what you guys are thinking. If you did enjoy this video or you found it interesting, let me know. Hit the subscribe button, like, notification, you know the drill. Yeah, and I hope to see you guys soon. So peace.